Distorted Fate, written by Sylvac. Chapter 10, Language. Boredom, one of the worst enemies of any sentient life. Whether sapient or sentient, adult or child, boredom is something no one, or any pony as the case may be, wants to deal with for long. Hence, after receiving my name 15 days ago, I was more motivated to learn the pony's language than ever, and I felt like I certainly had made great strides since then. It was only a few days ago that I finally learned enough of their language that I was able to adapt to speaking it, though I had to take things slow so I could process what I heard from the ponies first. I even learned their number system, which was thankfully in base 10. Though it did make me wonder how they came up with that, since they didn't have 10 of anything in regards to their bodies to base their numbers off of. Maybe it was some other species that came up with that, since there was a purple reptile, apparently called a dragon, living in the library after all. Whatever the case, I was overjoyed I didn't look like a damned idiot when some pony talked to me anymore. Shortly after our return from Twilight's residence, Dayspring apparently broke the news that I had no parents or family to the cakes based on their expressions of sorrow. Thankfully, they didn't have any objections to taking care of me, as they signed the paperwork, hence rendering me their full-time foster child, though I silently prayed that no pony had any future plans on adopting me. To my good fortune, due to my new position in the family, I was given my own room to sleep in. Though the room size was considerably small in comparison to all the other rooms, and looked like they used it as a storage room, it was an improvement to being hugged by Pinky each night. That pony really needed to learn about the concept of personal space. Though it was finally nice to have a bed of my own, I was getting a nagging suspicion that Pinky was planning something, for as I learned more and more of the pony's language, I saw Pinky muttering more and more to the cakes about something whenever I wasn't looking. It became even clearer when I started to say full sentences a few days ago, for Pinky's responses to that was the widest smile I ever saw, and I've seen creatures with hundreds of teeth smiling at me before. Still, I had nothing to go on in regards to her scheming beyond her more erratic behavior. However, I was given a hint right after breakfast one morning. As I sat on the table munching on what was left of my pancakes, I simply watched Mrs. Cake taking care of her twins while Mr. Cake was preparing the bakery for another day of business, leaving me alone to my thoughts. That was until a certain high-pitched voice decided to interrupt them.
"Hey Aether, wanna go visit Twilight today?"
asked Pinkie Pie with that trademark grin of hers. Tilting my head at that question, I answered,
Why you ask, Pinky?
Normally, she tried to get me to play some game with her, like pin the tail on the pony, which was a weird game in my point of view.
"Well, silly, you've been cooped up in here for so long, and a young fella like you needs to get outside, have some fresh air, and most importantly, have fun with your friends. Then I thought Aether hasn't seen Twilight since she got her name. Maybe she wants to see her again, but doesn't know how to get back to the library. So I'm gonna take you to her since you two are friends, and while I really wants to talk to you when you can talk to her."
Giving Pinky a deadpan look, I said,
Pinky, I do not think that Twilight and I are friends, since I did throw some books at her face.
"Don't be silly, Aether. You two are totally friends. Strangers don't throw books at other ponies' faces when they don't know them."
They would if they want them to go away.
"That's just silly, you silly filly. What pony wants other ponies to go away?"
Blinking at Pinky, I could only face-hoof myself as I thought. She's already crossing into nonsense. Better give her what she wants or I'll end up going crazy. Crazier. Groaning to myself, I replied,
Fine, I will go visit Twilight, but I know how to get there myself.
"Are you sure, Aether? I could take you there so you don't get lost and end up in a cabbage stall."
I will not get cabbage stall. How will I end up lost in a cabbage stall?
"You never know."
Pinky said with a smile, which I returned with a disbelieving stare. Slipping off my seat, I rolled my eyes as I said,
I will be going now, alone.
Walking past Pinky, who gave me a wave while keeping that eerie smile of hers, I headed out the front door as I followed the path to the library. It was a clear sunny morning as I entered the marketplace on the way to the library, where I was enjoying my walk until I heard a voice from above yell,
"Look out below!"
Turning my head to the direction of where the voice came from, I saw the cyan stunt pony crashing into another pony who was sent oh shit.
Gah!
I shrieked when the pony crashed into me, sending myself flying through the air until I crashed into some things that felt round and wet.
My cabbages!
I heard the pony scream as I made my way out of whatever I crashed into. Finally getting my head free, I looked at what I crashed into, only to see that I'm in the middle of a pile of cabbages at a market stall. You got to be kidding me. I'm in a cabbage stall like Pinky said. I thought to myself, slightly disturbed about the possibility that Pinky actually predicted that this would happen. As I was digging myself out of the pile, I looked up to see two ponies yelling at the cyan Pegasus who was apologizing to the two for the crash landing. However, when one of the ponies pointed at the stall, the cyan pony followed the direction of the pony's hoof to see me. At first, a flash of recognition appeared on the pony's face before it quickly gave way to the expression of worry as she saw me pulling myself out of the pile. Pushing past the two ponies, the cyan pony flew to my side as she asked,
Are you alright? You didn't get hurt from the, landing?
Yes, I am not hurt from your crash.
I replied as I finally pulled myself out of the cabbages, shaking off pieces that got stuck to my coat.
Phew, that's good to hear. Wait a minute, you can talk now?
No, I could talk before, just not in your words.
I replied with a deadpan expression.
Oh yeah, Pinky did mention that you spoke a different language, must have slipped past my mind. Anyways, I'm Rainbow Dash, fastest flyer in all of Equestria.
She said, puffing out her chest.
Rainbow Dash, nice to meet you. Again, I guess. My name is Easter Aura, and I will be going now.
I said before turning away to continue my trot to the library. Before I could take 2 steps, Rainbow decided to block my path as she landed right in front of me.
What the hey? I just introduced myself and this is the respect I get.
You sent me flying into a cabbage stall.
Well,
Do ponies get respect by sending foals flying into cabbage stalls?
Well, no, but...
Then you did not get my respect.
I said with a huff of frustration as I walked around her. Unfortunately, Rainbow decided to continue this conversation when I felt her grabbing my tail to stop me.
Hey, look here! That was an accident and no pony got hurt. So how about we start all over and I'll show you some of my awesome moves. What do you say?
No.
I said bluntly, causing her to blink in shock as she lost her grip on my tail. Rainbow, however, quickly shook off her shock before flying in front of me, hovering before me as she said,
What do you mean no? How can you say no to seeing my awesome moves?
Well, since I do not know what the word awesome means, I decided to say no.
How can you not know what awesome means? You're speaking equestrian now.
Yes, I speak your words, but that does not mean I speak them or understand them good.
I replied, my growing irritation at being stopped so many times visible on my face.
Oh well, remember the moves I showed you when we first met?
After I gave her a nod, she continued.
Those are some of my awesome moves. So how about you sit here and watch the sheer awesomeness of this Rainbow Dash?
No.
Good, now wait, did you say no again?
Yes, I said no. I do not want to see your awesome moves, as you say.
Oh, come on! Why don't you want to see them?
Rainbow said, exasperated at my refusal.
Because I do not like seeing awesome moves. I think they are a waste of time.
Strangely though, instead of getting Rainbow to back off, my words seemed to have just left her dumbstruck for a moment before a look of absolute rage appeared on her face.
My moves are not a waste of time. They are the best moves in all of Ponyville and will one day get me into the Wonderbolts.
Rainbow yelled at me, drawing attention of nearby ponies. Sighing at her outburst, I said,
Rainbow, sorry, but I do not like moves like that. I just do not.
Narrowing her eyes, Rainbow asked with a clenched jaw,
Why not?
Opening my mouth for a moment, I suddenly paused as I started to think to myself. Crap, how am I going to explain that watching someone pull off stunts is nothing compared to doing crazy stupid shit in other dimensions in order to survive? Guess I have to go with the language barrier excuse.
Tough for me to say with your words. Give me time please to learn more words so I can say better.
I replied, hoping that would placate the Pegasus. Her eyes still narrowed, Rainbow took a deep breath, exhaling before she said,
Fine, I'll let this slide for now. But the moment you can actually explain to me why you don't want to see my moves, you better get Pinky to bring you to me.
With her own huff, she flew off into the sky as I let out a sigh of relief. I definitely needed to come up with a good reason next time I saw that mare. Feeling like I was under some spotlight, I looked around to notice that the ponies in the market street were staring at me due to Rainbow's outburst. Letting out a chuckle as I blushed, I simply smiled and waved at the ponies, who in return shrugged the incident off like it was some normal everyday thing. Sighing once more, I continued my way to the library, inwardly hoping that nothing else crazy happens today. After a while, I finally reached the library, where I knocked on the front door with my hoop before sitting down, expecting the dragon to answer it, only to be surprised when the door opened to reveal Twilight.
This is a library, you can Oh, it's you, Aether. What are you doing here, and why are you alone?
Twilight asked before face-hooving. Apparently she was thinking that I couldn't understand their language still.
Pinky told me to go visit you, though I do not know why. I came here alone because I want to come here alone this time.
I answered to the best of my ability.
Oh well, I'm sure Pinky has her
Twilight started to say before she suddenly stopped, the irises of her eyes shrinking. Seems like she just now realized that I was speaking their tongue, for soon after a moment passed she suddenly yelled.
You're talking in equestrian? Do you know what I'm saying? I understand some, but I still need to learn more words before I can speak your words good.
I answered, to which Twilight's mouth suddenly shifted to a wide smile that reminded me of one of Pinky's smiles. Shit, that is not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Well, here you have another chapter of Distorted Fate. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe. And in other news, here is your daily dose of brainwashing. Bye.